Hey everyone, thanks for joining us tonight. I am Doug and this is Steve, and we are part of, what did you call it? PATC? Is that what we're
Yeah, the
calling ourselves now?
PATC,
Paddock,
Plastic Adventures Toy Community.
we're the PATC. We are
PATC.
PATC. And we're here to share our opinions with you, whether you like it or not. You clicked on our link, so you get to hear it.
Yes,
You
yes. Well,
came here
welcome
voluntarily.
everybody. Welcome everybody to two old guys show their cool toys for the next 10 minutes.
And everybody wants to see that. We know you do.
Yeah, well, I promised something last week that I had coming, and it did arrive. So I got something neat to share there, and then we had a couple of late entries in the week too.
Yeah, there was two specifically that I was not expecting to hit. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm
well,
pretty excited to show those off. I'll start off on my end because I think mine is a little smaller than yours. How about that?
well, I suppose there's only one person that could really tell for sure if yours is smaller than mine, but
Oh, geez,
yes, let's
that's
go
what
ahead
she
and do the
said.
toys.
All right, I have a smaller haul than you do.
That's okay.
All
Other
right.
acceptable nomenclature, quaint and non-invasive.
Like we said, two old guys. You're going to hear our comedy whether you want to or not.
Yeah. Okay. So,
All right.
what cool thing do you have?
All right, I didn't get to share this last week. I totally forgot about it, so I wanted to bring it up this week. I haven't been going into the Transformers Red series very actually at all. I've picked them up every once in a while. I've looked at them and then I've put them right back down on the shelves. I've never really picked them up.
Well, they're really cool, right? Like they don't have the constraints of having plastic pieces that fold up and all that
Right.
kibble. So like from an aesthetic perspective, they're incredibly awesome. But I almost feel like they're like 10 or 12 years too late. For a while there,
Yeah.
Hasbro had, or Takara had all these PVC figures, like the SCF collection and the Mega SCF, and they were really, really good. They were non-transformable figures.
Mhm.
So this Red series is sort of just like in-action figures for Transformers because they're lacking the transformation feature.
Well, basically, what they kind of remind me of is they're kind of along the lines of Star Wars Black Series, GI Joe Classified. They're that 6-inch scale with the 6-inch articulation and posability. They just don't have transforming it, right?
Yeah, and
So,
they're very good. They
oh
are
yeah,
very, very
they're
good.
very detailed. I haven't seen one until now that I went, oh, I've got to have that one. And so this one I picked up the Shockwave.
Yeah, that is cool as hell, man. I mean, that is like hyper cartoon accurate.
Oh
I
yeah, he's a great figure. I still I don't know what my infatuation is with Shockwave. But for some reason he just sticks in my head as just one really cool badass figure.
Well, the only thing that stops Shockwave from being number one is Megatron's charisma.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Shockwave is powerful and he's more intelligent than Megatron. He is more patient and poised than Megatron, but Megatron just has that, like, he was a gladiator, he's a larger
Right.
than life character. So, Shockwave is playing second fiddle, but the horrible Marvel Comics run focused down pretty hard on Shockwave for a while there.
For the at the very beginning it did, yeah, absolutely. But I think you know what I think it comes down to is I as a kid I had like a broken version of it. Like
Yeah.
I didn't even have a full version. I had a broken one. And like I just always liked I never and I had a few times where I could almost get one as I was getting older, and then for whatever reason I couldn't just quite seal the deal, couldn't quite grasp it. And then I told you the story about the one where I tried to buy the knockoff from overseas,
Oh, yeah.
and then instead I got these two little plastic cards, and oh, man, I was so disappointed because I'm finally getting a Shockwave. No, I didn't get a Shockwave, but
Yeah.
I've got every other version of Shockwave that I can think of except for the G1. But as far as that's concerned, I mean, look at that. I mean, he's a great figure.
Yeah. One of the things that I love the best about these figures is that they're in a matte finish.
Oh yeah, they're
So
not shiny.
much like the old animation cells were done in a matte kind of a sheen. The paint was matte.
Yep.
I like how it's sort of innocuous. Instead of being super shiny and, you know, showing off every little detail, it actually mutes the figures down a little bit. They almost, it almost feels a little bit more like seeing an image from the cartoon on the screen when you hold the figure in your hand, rather than having a satin or like a semi-gloss type of sheen that a lot of toys are left with purposely. And also at the end of the machining process for plastic, a lot of that petroleum is turns into a gloss sheen on the surface. Yeah.
But seeing him almost makes me kind of wish I had picked up Megatron when I had the chance, Starscream and Soundwave, because then I would have had the 4 badass Decepticons, right? I didn't know that they were going to look as good as Shockwave. I saw Megatron, I put him back on the shelf. I saw Optimus Prime, I put him back on the shelf.
I didn't.
Well, I know.
That's one of them that's not going away.
But now I kind of wish I'd gone back and gotten those. But, you know, oh well. Shockwave is still a good figure. So,
yeah.
What's that?
Oh, I was going to say that's a really good pickup. That's an awesome figure.
Oh yeah, yeah, he looked really good. I like him on the show. Most of my Transformers, I'm able to put him back in the box and keep him. But him, I'm like, nah, he's strictly display. He's out of the box and he's on the shelf.
Yeah, well, they're so articulated. It's really cool to like pose them around.
Yeah,
you can that Optimus Prime, you can contort him into that iconic, like just launched into the air pose from Transformers the movie. Yeah, yep. I had it done that way and suspended with some fishing line in my last setup. So I'm going to see if I can get something similar, because it's just too cool looking not to do that really sweet pose.
Okay, so my next one is I found a really good deal for these on eBay. They were a small price to pay to get a rather washed up athlete these days, right? Well, but I mean, a lot of jokes.
After that last eBay find of Twiki for like $25, you telling me you got something better than that?
Well, better. No, not better. but it was fun nonetheless. But there is a story that comes along with it. So the listing showed 2 different figures in 2 different packaging, and that's what I was hoping to get. But instead, I got 2 of the same figure for whatever reason. I contacted the seller, and they're like, "Oh, we're sorry, we didn't know that we'd done that," and so they gave me a refund. So I got a refund, and I got these figures, and so that means one of them is coming to Steve, because I got two Jose Canseco starting lineup figures,
Mr. 4040.
But yeah, so they're 2 of the exact same figure, but they're actually really good in display packaging here.
Yeah.
I know
that's
you and I are both Canseco fans. Like, for whatever reason, we just have not let go of that guy. And we got his cards, we got everything. So I figured, hey, why not have a starting lineup? And so yeah, but I got 2 of the same one. So Steve gets the extra.
Awesome, dude. That's really I'm totally jazzed about getting a Jose Canseco starting lineup. A Jose Canseco figure. Tell me you didn't pay money for this.
I did, but then I got it back.
Exactly. Net. That's pretty sweet, dude. I saw one in a Goodwill, or no, Value Village. Remember when that place was open?
Yeah.
And they had the display case there, and they got some starting lineups, and I think they had Canseco at like $25, and I'm like, somebody does not know their collectibles here.
No.
Is that what I get for taking it? Like, do I get to invoice you for $25 to take that Canseco off your hands?
Not for $25, but
had they still been open, it would still be there, I'm sure.
But how it worked out, I mean, it pretty much paid what? I think $3 a piece for them. So hey, that's a win. I think that's a win. And they're actually in good condition. Like, there's no discoloration on the bubble.
Yeah, that's normally you see these things and they're really yellowed because they've been sitting in store, like the windows at the store. Yeah, that's terrific, man. I love it. I can't wait to come get that. Yeah, coming up here in 3-4 weeks or something, I'll be down that way.
Absolutely. Yep, that one's all yours. Okay, that's all I got. That was it. Mini haul.
Man, I don't know how I follow that up. I mean, two Jose Canseco starting lineup figures.
How do
That's
you
going to be
follow Jose Canseco?
yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll go on to Doug's additional scores that he got via Plastic Crack Dealer Steve, and then we'll go on to the cool stuff. And there was late entries yesterday, and then another one today, but
Ooh,
I'll tell you what that is. So number one, we've got Shira from the Masterverse line. That light's really tough to deal with, but you getting a good look at her there?
yeah, so her alternate head has like the helmet, right?
Yeah, it is freaking sweet, dude. This is a super, super, super cool Shira figure. You got
And
the extra hands, you got the shield, but the sword, it's hard to see the details there. I'm
no,
gonna get a
I
little
can see it.
closer.
That looks real cool. Her face is
Yep,
good looking on that one. Yeah.
yep. Great sculpt, great everything. It's a little weird pose, but
Yeah.
man, that alternate head is just terrific. I
I
like how
know. I like that one.
they whited the eyes out to make her look like like a superhero kind of a thing. That looks just totally badass.
Yeah, it looks very cool.
The back of the box art has a really
Oh,
cool picture of her like on Swiftwind. Uh,
I like Shira. I
just
was okay with it. I'm secure in my manhood enough to say that I like Shira.
yeah, that's okay. And she's joined by her friend, which is animation style Hordak.
That is, talk about a beautiful figure. Look at that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know that there's much more that you can ask for out of one of these Masterverse figures. They are insane. I'm sorry, Classics has been eclipsed. These figures are just so freaking good.
I know. And the thing is, except for maybe one or two that I've still seen on the shelf, like I still see Stinkor, I still see um Spikor, but other than that, um, pretty much everyone I've seen has been picked up and cleaned out. So I mean, people are grabbing these.
Yeah, they're being bought. So the last one that Doug gets is one that Steve got a little bit first. I had only saw one of these on the shelf.
Yeah, you got lucky with that one, man.
Yeah, this is the 40th He-Man, and I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. He actually does feature some paint wash, but it's
Oh, a little
not.
bit.
Yeah, it's not aggressive like the original pictures where it just looked like somebody squirted brown paint all over him. So he's paint washed in a lot of the muscles and the abs. Unfortunately, there is a little bit of paint wash on the face. You can't see it on this figure because I took it off with lacquer thinner. But around his cheeks and on his forehead, it's too red.
Ah,
It's not like tan like the rest of his body. Maybe I can. You see that
oh,
kind
I
of
see
off
what you're
the
talking
shoulder
about.
going into there. Yeah. So unfortunately, it did require a little bit of work for me to get this done. But uh, I mean, this dude, this has to be like the penultimate
Yeah.
7-inch scale He-Man. I mean, there's nothing better that's been done than that figure.
And what I
Classics,
heard
including
specifically
classics.
about this one is that they did something with his wrist on his right arm to allow him to hold the sword up, where
Yeah,
before I guess you couldn't do that on any of them.
yeah. So that's his hand regular forward right there, and it's on a rocker joint.
Yep. So you
You
can
see
so
how
you
it,
can
it
hold it
goes
up.
through there. Yeah. So he actually can hold aloft his sword. And I had made mention that in a fit of paranoia, I pre-ordered one from Entertainment Earth, thinking I'd never see them on the shelf. It really is a fit of paranoia. It is ridiculous. I am effing almost 44 years old. I work right next door to a Target. I frequent Walmart. To think that I will not get a shot at one of these is ridiculous.
You don't have to explain to me. I understand.
But I sit there and I think to myself, oh no, what if someone gets it? So my pre-order from Entertainment Earth shipped today.
Oh,
When I come down there, you're gonna get one of these too.
oh,
Uh,
nice.
yeah. So I don't have to worry about finding it in the store. Um, I
That's
mean,
freaking cool.
I think we've seen the packaging that it comes in. It's this really cool window box, and you can take the guts out of it if you wanted to display it. This that thing lifts out, and you can kind of make a little diorama with the exploding rocks.
Nice.
He comes with a pretty standard He-Man loadout. I didn't take him out of the tray because I probably won't show it, but I put the open hand for the left on there. I popped it out, but he's got a closed right punching fist. He's got a gripping fist for the left, and then he's got a B slapping left hand as well. Shield and axe, pretty standard fare for what He-Man would come with. But
yeah, I like the fact that he has the alternate hands for both, so that way he can hold both his sword and the axe if you wanted to have him do that.
Yeah, or he's got the gripping hands. You can put him in position with the sword, holding it forward like that.
Yep.
I'm not going to display it with any of that stuff. He's just going to be holding the sword aloft because he actually can.
Because he can.
And then my classics He-Man will have his head hung in shame.
That's still a good figure.
It is. It's really good. But I mean, you people out there watching, don't fool yourself. Dude, this 40th He-Man is the best He-Man that we've gotten so far. Most of Masterverse has been the best version that we've gotten so far.
Yep, absolutely.
So that was a really cool one. I was super excited to be able to find that. Now, I'll show you the one that I was waiting for, and I think that I've mentioned a million times that I've been wanting one and just didn't have a good opportunity. But I finally got my Wolverine and CoverGirl.
Nice.
Hey, check that out.
It's got part of the cable.
Broken toe cable. I got one of those now.
I got a broken toe cable too. You joined the club.
I did. It's in really, really, really good shape. I think I thought I was missing one of the hooks. I'm not. No, I got everything on there that should be on there. Cool. CoverGirl's in really, really good shape. So I finally I was kind of following one on eBay, and I got it for a really good price. So it was one of the last things that I really, really wanted to add. And I'm not like a big Joe vehicle collector, but like all of the women in G.I. Joe are badass. There is not a damsel in distress at all. And I think CoverGirl is probably my favorite design for a character.
Yep.
Because it was so agree. Yeah, it's like real world practical. It's the fatigues and the cool bomber jacket. That's not to say that Lady J is in my opinion the best and most useful of the Joes, but CoverGirl I thought was a better design than Scarlet or Lady J. So yeah, really happy to get one of those.
I'm glad you got her, because I know we had talked about I was trying to find one for you for the longest time, but nobody had one in a price range that I was willing to like.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the figure. Maybe with the file card, you're talking a $50 bill anymore to get one. So when you can pay less than that and get the vehicle, a piece of tow cable, a figure, all that, it was the right time to make the jump. So I was pretty jazzed about picking that one up.
Right on. I'm glad you finally got her, because you had been talking about that one for a while.
Yeah, me too. I passed it up at a couple of like shows and stuff that we went to. So it was time, and I'm happy that I did.
Right on.
Yeah, so that's it.
That's what we got for show and tell today, huh?
Yeah, I mean, unless I run across something super cool next week, I don't know. We'll just see what happens out there in the toy aisles.
Well, hope a future what is we like a sneak peek, we'll say. There's some things in the works. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we will have some really, really cool stuff to show off for Plastic Bits. So, but until then, you're just gonna have to wait until we get them.
Yeah, all four of you just waiting with in anticipation.
All right, well, that's it for Plastic Bits today. I'm Doug. That was Steve, and we'll see you guys next time.